let's do example number 3. Sometimes they give you a graph, and you have to figure out what the equation is from the graph. So what you need is the endpoint, or your h and k. So the endpoint for this graph is negative 4, 8. I also need to know which direction it opens. Normally, we would put an arrow on the graph for you. So I can see that it opens to the right, like a Nike swoosh, but instead of the points being up, this time the points are down. So what axis did it reflect over? No, a reflection over y would look like this. Yeah, it's this one. It's a reflection over the x-axis. So I know my a value has to be negative, okay? Because my points are down and right. Okay, next I need my a value. I know it's negative, but I need to know what the counting pattern is. So I'm going to go to my graph and check. Right 1, down 1. Right 1, 2, 3, 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Square root of 9 is 3. It matches, so it has to be a negative 1. Okay, from here I can write my equation. So I have a negative 1 in the front. People don't usually write the negative 1. They'll just put negative sign if it's a 1. Underneath, I have my x, insiders lie, so plus 4, outsiders tell the truth. So that's how I'd write my equation for that. The very last example, and you don't have to do this one on your homework tonight, but it's a good one to look at. We'll use it in word problems. Okay, sometimes I can find my h and k, which is at negative 6, 2. But I can't, when I know that it has a positive a value, but I can't figure out what it is, because the square root of 1, it's less than 1. The square root of 1, 2, 3, 4 is less than 2. So I know it's a fraction, but I don't know what it is. So I need another point on my graph. So they're giving me the point 1, 4 as an x and y. So here's my h and k. I have another point. And so you guys did this in the quadratics unit. I can use an h and k and another point on the graph, x and y, to figure out what my a value is. So I'm going to set this up. For y, I'm plugging in 4 equals unknown a times the square root of x, which is 1, minus my h, so minus negative 6, which makes that plus 6. And then plus 2 on the end. So I plugged in my h and k and an x, y, and I'm going to try to figure out what a is. So I would simplify it. 4 equals a times the square root of 7 plus 2 on the end. Now I want to solve for a, so I'm going to subtract 2, which leaves me with 2 equals a times the square root of 7. And now I need to get the a by itself, so I'm going to divide by the square root of 7. Which is fine. You can type that in your calculator. So you're going to go to the calculate screen, and I typed it in right there. You just type in 2 divided by the second square root of 7. Okay, and so it gives you that decimal. It's like 0.756 if you round it. So if my a equals 0.756, I can write my equation. I put my a value in, and then my square root, and then I'm going to plug in to let the reader know where my endpoint is. So x, insiders lie, plus 6, outsiders tell the truth, plus 2. And so I can write my equation. Now you guys won't have to do that particular thing on your homework. You'll do it during your word problems. Okay, let's see if I can figure out where that went.